What did you think about Rudd's apology speech?
Well, it's not much different to what Keating did in his time, you know. It's plenty of rhetoric, but at the end of the day, where's the legislation supporting this, you know? I mean, even now they're debating whether there should be compensation for the old people that are left. I mean, that shouldn't even be an issue. Why, everybody else gets compensation. Why aren't Aboriginal people entitled to that? You know, they're talking about the British kids that came over here. They're already lining up for compensation. I mean, it's just the same old story. One rule for some mob and a different rule for someone else, you know.
The intervention mobilised police and the military into Aboriginal communities. What do you think about that?
Well, again, it's just intimidation tactics. I mean, why would you bring the military in? You know, if they want to bring the military in, get them to build roads and houses and stuff like that. That's what they should be doing. They've done it across the top end in different communities to get publicity, you know. I mean, if they want to bring military in, that's what they should be using them for. Look at this place here. I said, you know, we got spitting distance to the huge organisations in Alice Springs. Places like Senecorp, $100 million in investment. What does that mean to this place? They haven't even got toilets, they haven't got showers, they've got no hot water, living in tin sheds. I mean, what's $100 million worth to these people? It's nothing. It doesn't mean a damn thing. The intervention's not helping anything. You know, the people who benefit out is the police and the federal police and everybody else that's coming here getting jobs and money. As I said, it doesn't affect this people here sitting down here with nothing. You know, they just talked about building another jail, $300 million, another prison. What, they're going to fill it up again with more Aboriginal people. We've got 80% prison rate now in the Northern Territory. I mean, is this to compensate what's coming in with the intervention as far as cheap labour and everything else? If you don't work, you're going to go to prison. What's the story behind that?
What are the opportunities for Aboriginal people to have proper jobs with proper wages?
Well, the jobs are limited. The opportunities are limited, especially in the communities. Most of the jobs are taken by white fellas, and that's a fact. And, you know, even when they send young people to school, they don't train them in jobs, in programs that's going to necessarily give them a job back in the community, you know. And again, where's the employment base? You know, there's no employment. There's got to be major employment strategies developed. There's got to be enterprises developed on communities. Until those sort of things happen, nothing's going to change.
What would you say to working class people in the cities about what's happening?
Well, I guess, you know, the working class everywhere is that, you know, we're all under the umbrellas of multinationals who run this global economy that we keep hearing about, and it's all about making money at the end of the day. I mean, we all got to survive with money, but, you know, who gets all the profits? It's so inequitable. It doesn't get shared around, you know. And at the end of the day, it's the working class who make all these profits for people. But you don't see anyone getting bonuses or you know, there should be shares in the company if they're working for somebody. If I'd run a company, I'd have everybody working for me in shares in the company. So you actually get a little bit of it when you get to retirement age. See, that's another question, retirement age. Most Aboriginal people don't get to retirement age. There should be legislation in this country to change where we get our long service, or not long service, our retirement things 20 years earlier than what the white fellas do. Because most Aboriginal people died 20 years before it. And, you know, I don't pluck these figures out of the sky. You can get them from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. They say all this stuff. It's all there. You know, I don't have to make any figures up.
There's been an intervention into the Northern Territory to protect the children. What do you think about that?
Well, personally, I don't believe that for a minute. There's been reports and documents written about child abuse and stuff sitting in libraries and politicians' offices for 30 years, and no one's done that. It's just, like a lot of people know about this, it's a land grab. They're in here in the interests of the government and the mining magnates, and at the end of the day, it's about the uranium that's here, and there's huge deposits around Alice Springs, and people talking about exploration and all that. I mean, it's going to happen whether Aboriginal people agree or not. And at the end of the day, who benefits from it? You know, the mining companies make trillions, and people still sitting down here in sheds.